only not sleep with a man for so long before he starts to catch on that there must be something amiss.
Where are you getting these ideas about me?
It's just that
I don't sleep with women who think it's an obligation.
Your card key was used to gain access to the magazine at 11 o'clock last night.
Well, that's impossible. I was at the Zinc Bar having dinner with your husband.
Please clean out your desk and leave now.
I'll indulge you in this little charade, but don't expect any mercy when I come back. And I will be back.
Well, it's done, and I'm glad I did it. I should have gotten rid of her a long time ago. Finally, I can concentrate on my work instead of dealing with Carrie's daily antics. Tomorrow, for the first time since I started to Communique, I can go to work and know that everyone's on my side. After 2 months of being bad-mouthed and undermined, you have no idea how empowering that is.
Look, I don't want to spoil the party.
Then don't. Come on, let's celebrate.
Steph, I hope your decision to fire Carrie didn't just hinge on what I said.
All you said is you weren't her alibi.
I said we didn't have dinner together, but we did have a quick drink at the Zinc Bar, and I wasn't exactly watching the clock. Like, maybe I am her alibi. I mean, if I'm wrong about the time...
Oh, you're right, and you know it. Stop feeling guilty. Don't try to protect her.
Well, she'd be amazed to hear you say that, especially now that she hates my guts.
Not as much as she hates mine.
It just sounds to me like there's still room for doubt, or that you were swayed by personal feelings.
Hey, my personal feelings are reserved for my husband. And that's for room for any doubt.
Word has it we're one staff member short.
Good morning, Ellen. Apparently word travels fast. And in this case, it's true. I fired Carrie. I apologize for not consulting you first, but my top priority was to protect the magazine from further problems.
You have proof all that was caused by Carrie.
Of course. And as for any payoff on her contract, there won't be one. Since she was fired for cause, I've already cleared it with legal. I don't know if there's any right way to handle situations like this, but I did handle it the only way I knew how.
You handled it brilliantly. Plugging the leak and cutting her loose, that's what I call 2 birds with 1 stone.
Thank you.
Got a board meeting upstairs. Walk me out. I questioned my judgment about you, kid. Now I'm beginning to doubt my doubts.
Good. Because I've been here almost 2 months, Alan, and even though circulation figures have risen by 7% and ad pages are up, today is the first time you've praised my performance.
I give praise when it's due, which is rare, if ever. Right now, I'm patting myself on the shoulder for following a hunch and hiring the right person.
A first look to allure? Well, kiss us goodbye for an hour and for good. Look, I don't care what sort of guarantees you've made. Communique's nobody's second choice. Deep down, I'm really a very nice girl.
I found the leak.
You did? Who?
Obviously, this is confidential information, but Carrie Fairchild is gone for good.
Stephanie, I don't know what to say.
Just tell me you understand.
You sure, Stephanie? I mean, you have proof?
Of course. And even though I have no loyalty to her, it's heartening to see that you do.
Look, Carrie's one of my oldest chums, so I'm really sorry for her and that this had to happen, but between my work and my personal life, well, I think you know which one comes first.
I'm happy to hear it. And I'm even happier to know that you'll be here for me. Thanks.
Fake circulation figures, sabotage layout boards, exclusives, scooped by us, among others. Communique's a sinking ship. Stephanie Wells can't plug the leak.
And you think that's a story?
Well, I'd read all about it.
Well, I'm not saying I wouldn't either. It's just that you don't know any of that stuff for sure, whether it's based on fact, not rumor.
We just got a tip that Carrie Fairchild was fired. Though whether there's a connection, you're right, I don't know.
Well, I suppose I could try and find out, although to be honest, it sounds like a stretch.
Actually, you might not be the best person to cover this story. I mean, you know, my step on your love life.
You, of all people, ought to know that my relationship with Peter Fairchild has nothing to do with my work here.
Maybe not, but his relationship with Alan Rush does. And since Rush Media owns Communique, Alex, relax. It's no big deal. If you won't go after your boyfriend's stepfather, there are plenty of people around here who will. Lisa Monroe's been begging to get out of gossip. She already has a hot source at Communique.
Lisa Monroe? You gotta be kidding. Come on, John. The girl writes a gossip column. She can't report a real story. I can do it. Let me write the piece.
Lisa.
You wanted to see me?
I just assigned Alex to Communique. And since you ran blind items on those leaks...
You got it. Anything I could do to help.
All right, then. Go to it. And remember, no mercy.
No gossip either. I stick to facts. Okay. First and foremost question is, who's feeding you stuff from Communique?
I'm sorry. I must be losing my hearing. I could have sworn you asked me to divulge a source.
Oh, what happened to anything I can do to help?
Look, my sources are my sources, and that's how they stay.
Okay.
Communique.
Stephanie Wells, please. Alex Bartoli, New York Globe.
I'll take a message.
Yes. Tell her I'm doing a big feature on hot new New Yorkers. Naturally, I want to highlight her and her success at Communique. Unfortunately, my deadline's tomorrow.
Perhaps today?
Sure, anytime today would be fine. Thanks. I'll be waiting for her call.
Peter! Peter!
Carrie, what are you doing here? And what are you doing up at this hour?
Are you ready for this? I lost my job.
Oh, no.
According to Stephanie Wells, I'm the Matahari of the magazine world, leaking top stories and all her trade secrets.
So she fired you? But Carrie, she can't. Alan will talk to her about this.
Alan's the one who set me up. He had Stephanie frame me so that I'd be fired for cause. He doesn't have to pay me off, and I have no grounds for wrongful dismissal.
Of course you do. You're innocent.
Remember when he married Mother in Rome and he made us fly coach to the wedding? I said it then and I'll say it now. The man will do anything to humiliate us.
If that's the way you feel, this may be for the best. Now you don't need to be under his thumb.
I know, but I need to be on his payroll. You still have your trust fund, Peter, but I partied mine away years ago.
Listen, I'd be glad to loan you some money.
Not you. I'm going to make Alan pay. Whatever it takes, he's going to be sorry.
This is John? Gil Chase, Assets Management at Hastings Webster. I don't know if you and your husband...
Don't call him that. We're divorced.
Ex-husband, excuse me. But all the more reason for invest...
Save your breath. I'll save my money.
Thanks a lot. Bitch.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I'll overnight all the forms to you.
Mr. Zane, Gil Chase, Hastings Webster.
Great. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you. Got the Bourne account. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Nikki Sheridan.
Thank God. I've been cold calling from our zip code file. I just want to talk to someone who wants to talk to me.
Fine, as long as you're not after my money.
Hey, I'm after everyone's money. There must be some new people in town with an open mind and need to invest.
Think hard, Gil. You know one already.
I do? Who?
Stephanie Wells, the new editor of Communique. You met her at Carrie's welcoming party. Remember that night at Club Zero?
Figures. Not in Central Park, not on the subway, but in a club run by drag queens in the meatpacking district. Perfect place to meet someone to manage your money.
You were at her husband's play reading, too.
That's right. Mark Merrill's married to her. Nikki, you're a genius.
Just keep an eye on the dollar like you.
Wish me luck. I'll call you later.
circulation's climbing, your ad pages are up, your fashion section's the last word in trend-setting style.
Credit for that goes to Rachel Dennis.
Oh, Stephanie, don't be so modest. I mean, you've done more for Communique in the past few issues than your predecessor did in 5 years.
Alan Rush wanted a fresh approach. What Alan wants, Alan gets.
Maybe. But how did you manage without the usual mass firings and chaos? I mean, I'm a journalist, so I know what it's like. The office politics, the cutthroat competition. So the most amazing thing about your magazine is how happy everyone seems to be.
I believe the tone of the workplace is established at the top.
That's all very well and good, but you don't seem like someone who shies away from a battle.
I don't. Doesn't mean I encourage them either.
But we both know that sometimes they can't be avoided. I mean, can you give me an example at Communique?
Off the top of my head, I'm sorry, I can't.
Really? Now, I would have thought you could. I mean, since you just fired Carrie Fairchild, who happens to be your boss's stepdaughter.
Exactly what sort of story is this?
And speaking of internal battles, what about your ongoing security breach? Does Carrie's dismissal mean she was the leak? I take your silence as tacit confirmation.
Ms. Bartoli, this interview is over. And that is the only thing that you can quote me on. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to work. Taxi!
Do you know what the appraiser called it? A masterpiece, even in miniature.
I think it may be my favorite Renoir. The brushwork, the palette, I'd hate to part with it.
Believe me, it isn't easy. But, as I told you the other day, I'll take $5 million, no questions asked. Less your 10% commission, of course.
Since our last meeting, I made a few calls. And $5 million is realistic in today's market.
I thought so. And remember, this sale must be discreet.
Naturally. I understand. I do have one question, Linda. Won't your husband notice a missing painting?
I can't explain the disappearance of Renoir, but I can substitute an identical copy. Alan's hardly a connoisseur. Trust me, he'll never know the difference. Is that all?
For now, I think so.
Nikki, I admire your discretion, but you must want to know why I'm selling the painting.
As a matter of fact, I'd rather not. It's none of my business, and I respect that.
There's another woman. I don't know who, but I know this one's different from the others.
I'm sorry, Linda. I don't know what to say.
This one means something to my husband. And so I'm trying to protect myself. I don't mean to burden you. And please don't go running back to my daughter.
What goes on between us is strictly confidential. Goodbye, Linda. I'll call you soon.
Bye.
Mark Merrill. Gil Chase, we met at your play reading in the Hamptons.
Gil! Sorry, I met more people that night than I have the whole time since I moved here.
Price of overnight success. Listen, do you have a minute?
Sure, I guess.
We didn't get a chance to talk to your reading, but I'm in assets management at Hastings Webster. I'll level with you, that's why I'm here. Mark, I'd like to sit down with you and discuss some investment opportunities.
I don't know.
As I was telling my friend Peter Fairchild, for me, the best clients are the ones with big futures. Take you and your wife. An up-and-coming playwright and the editor of New York's hottest weekly magazine. To me, that's two major futures in one account.
I'm flattered, and I'm sure Stephanie would be too, but I don't think we're interested.
Look, this isn't the right time or place. Let me set up a meeting with you and Stephanie where I can explain what I do and present a proposal.
Gil, I'm sorry. We're both pretty busy.
All the more reason we should sit down and talk. No commitments, just an informal, informational meeting.
With someone who doesn't seem to take no for an answer.
Mark, I'm not Peter Fairchild. What I've achieved on my own. Call anytime. And congratulations on your play.
A toast to 13 years. And at least 30 more.
Alan, not yet. We should wait for Carrie.
Oh, we should.
Actually, I don't think she'll be able to make it. Something came up at the last minute.
Last minute filing for unemployment.
Obviously, there has been a mistake. The mere thought of it is ridiculous. She would never do what you say.
She would, she did. Now she's gone.
Gone but not forgotten. Happy anniversary. You deserve a medal.
Yes, for putting up with you. Now tell me, what really is going on at Communique?
Well, ask your husband. He's the one that engineered this little frame-up with his henchwoman, Stephanie Wells.
You lying little bitch.
Alan, I will not have this. Not now, not ever.
Should have thought of that before you said I do.
Carrie, come on.
Evidently, there's been a misunderstanding between you and Stephanie Wells. It doesn't matter what happened. The point is, Alan can take care of it.
The point is, he already has, and considering what he's put me through, I deserve an extended vacation. So, I'm leaving this weekend for Paris.
Paris?
I won't let you run away from a problem.
Oh, don't worry, Mommy. I promise to write and send Alan all of my credit card bills. The least you can do is make sure he pays for them.
If you go to Paris, you better learn a hell of a lot more than French, like how to make a living without sponging off me. Free ride is over, kid. You're on your own.
Alan, where are you going?
Conference call. Be right back. Sure whether you'd show.
I wouldn't have missed such a special occasion. Happy anniversary, Alan.
Happy last anniversary with Linda.
I wonder. Maybe you're just all talk.
Baby, I am a man of action.
Called Guilt Chase. Oh, that's right, you wouldn't. We met at my play reading.
Friend of Carrie's.
He sort of ambushed me at school yesterday, and he says he wants to sit down with us soon and discuss some investment planning.
Don't tell me he's going to turn us into millionaires overnight.
I think it'd be interesting to hear what he has to say. And I'd like to do it today, if you can.
Today? That certainly is soon.
Well, to be honest, I'm afraid he's going to lose interest once he finds out our net worth.
Hey, our investments may be pretty riskless, but at least we're not losing money.
I'm not saying Guilt Chase is the answer, but I am interested in some good free advice.
Fine. If you can come by the office, I haven't got a free minute all day. I like that you take good care of us.
Well, with T-bills and CDs, it's hardly aggressive. And I'm sure any broker would be appalled.
Well, we'll find out today. See you then. Thanks.
Darling, of course I believe you. I mean, it's all too bizarre for words. I mean, it's bad enough that Stephanie fired you, but to think that your own stepfather set you up?
There'll be payback, you'll see.
And meanwhile, you're going to have a fabulous time in Paris. I'm going to call all of my contacts and make sure of it. And I'll look after this place while you're gone.
You know, I was thinking your timing is perfect. I lose my job, flee in disgrace, you land a promotion, plus my loft.
Well, not for long. I'm expecting my first settlement check any day. So soon I'll be ensconced in a suite at the pier on a strict diet of caviar and champagne, which you're welcome to share with me upon your return. Now, be honest. How much do you just love how this looks?
Lucky for you, we're the same size.
Darling, I'm lucky to know you at all. Ring me at the office.
I'll be in later to clean up my desk.
What the hell is this?
Ian, who let you in here?
Who let you pan my latest production? Though this isn't a pan, it's an evisceration.
Evidently, it's the reviewer's opinion. You have heard of freedom of the press.
Stephanie, you asked me for a favor, and I obliged with speed and success. But lest you forget, it works both ways, so I expect the favor returned. As for freedom of the press, don't pull that self-righteous crap with me. It doesn't suit someone who gives me a cashier's check for $10,000 asking me to pose as a producer for her husband's play.
I asked for your help because I had a problem. Now, however, that problem has been solved. So don't ever burst in here and bully me again.
Oh, I won't. Next time I'll go straight to Mark.
Good morning. Alex Bartoli to see Alan Rush.
Do you have an appointment?
No.
Then I'm sorry.
Just tell him I'm Peter Fairchild's girlfriend.
Mr. Rush, I have an Alex Bartoli here who claims she's Peter's... Yes, of course. Go right in.
Then I don't want it. Not at that price. Tell him to knock off another 10 million. Then maybe we'll both be in the same ballpark. I have someone in my office now. A Globe reporter, as a matter of fact. That's right. One publication I still don't own. Yet. So, you're Alex.
Mr. Rush, it's an honor to meet you.
You know, Peter and I had dinner last night.
That's right. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
I'm here for a feature on hot new New Yorkers.
Aha. Alex, if you had done your homework, you'd know that I was born and raised in Brooklyn. So hot or not, I'm hardly new.
True. But our slant is Communique's been reborn. I mean, since Stephanie Wells was hired.
So much fuss about Stephanie. Or maybe you have an ulterior motive?
Only that she turned Communique around and plugged all its security leaks.
I was right. You do have an ulterior motive. Girlie, if you ever show up here again, I'm going to have you thrown out of the building. For starters, and I do mean starters, do not tempt me.
Fairchild.
Get your girlfriend off the story, now.
Alan, what are you talking about?
Alex Bartoli, she showed up here just now, asking questions for a story she's writing.
Did she? That's the first I've heard of it.
I'm shocked. You mean she lied to you?
She didn't lie. She just hasn't mentioned it.
Sorry, I missed the distinction. Then again, I never dated women who dropped my name to open doors.
Look, I'll talk to her. Is that all you want?
I want you to find the right girl, Peter. Somebody with some class.
Like I said, I'll talk to Alex.
Carrie. Sorry this whole thing happened. When I realized why the time of our dinner was important, I tried to tell Stephanie the truth.
Too little, too late, but it doesn't matter. As you can see, I'm moving out, so we won't meet without a valid passport.
Leaving the country? That sounds pretty extreme.
Well, maybe I'll send you a postcard from Paris. But then again, what's the point? I'm sure your wife will draw big black lines through them like they do in Turkish prisons.
There you are. So where's Mr. Midas?
He should be here any minute. Did you know that Carrie's moving to Paris?
Fleeing in disgrace and so far away. Though the space shuttle would have been even better.
Okay.
Hello, gorgeous.
What are you doing here?
Business meeting. Your office is bigger than my apartment.
Excuse me, Rachel. It's your lawyer. In London? Goodbye, Gil. Always a pleasure. Jeremy, I've got a bottle of vintage bubbly in hand, ready to celebrate my newfound fortune. So, how many millions of pounds am I worth?
My dear, I'm afraid there were complications. In fact, the court ruled in the defendant's favor.
I don't see how that's possible. I mean, we have photos with him in bed with some tart.
And they put a gentleman on the stand who gave equally explicit details about you. Rachel, I sympathize with your unhappy marriage, but seducing an investigator in your own husband's employ?
Yeah, well, how the hell else was I supposed to shut him up? Look, you should have just said that he perjured himself. Okay, I made sure he had no proof.
It appears he'd installed some video cameras. The entire proceeding was captured on tape.
Well, I hope the old bastards on the bench enjoyed it. Better luck to both of us next time.
You're young, with big earnings potential. So to keep up with inflation and the cost of living, it's imperative we put you both in the market. I'm not talking the whole farm here.
It's just a balanced account between stocks and bonds. As we like to say, it's about risk averseness and how much a client can tolerate. When I find that point, I try to push. That's the portion to put in equity.
So I take it you have certain stocks in mind.
Well, at this point, we're bullish on technology, but then again, who isn't? To me, the beauty of Hastings-Webster is we're head starters, so we reap the benefits of the stock early, middle, and late. Now, from what you tell me, you're primarily into T-bills and CDs, and of course, an interest-bearing checking account.
Actually, two. One for me, one for her.
Interesting. Do you mind if I ask why?
Ask Steph. It's her private account.
I opened it before we got married. I never got around to transferring funds. Why? Is that bad?
Hey, nothing's bad unless it loses money. So, we on board with all this?
Sounds intriguing. We need some time to think.
Take all the time you want. Say till day after tomorrow.
Thank you, Gil. Honey, I gotta run. I got a meeting.
Okay. See you tonight.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So your wife has a separate checking account?
Well, it's her money, so it's her right.
Her right not to let you see it?
Well, it's not like I'm expressly forbidden. She just likes the thought of her own little nest egg.
How little is little? I don't mean to pry, but hey, I'm in assets management, so I need to know how many assets there are to manage.
Point taken. I'll look into it.
Mark, I make you a lot of money.
So how'd this compare to my home cooking?
It doesn't. Tonight you could taste more than garlic.
Just for that, I'm not going to let you pay.
At least let's split it.
No, this way you won't think I'm using you to gain information that might lead to a story.
This must be a new world record. That's the first you've mentioned your work all night.
Not very characteristic, I know, but at this point, there's not much to mention. I mean, I am sort of working on something, but I'm getting nowhere fast.
What's the subject?
Oh, publishing, magazines, Communique.
I see. Does it have to do with my sister?
I don't know yet if it does or it doesn't. That's what I've been assigned to find out.
And were you planning on informing me, or was I supposed to find out in print?
Peter, there's nothing much to tell. I tried to talk to Stephanie Wells and your stepfather, but neither of them was exactly forthcoming.
Which didn't stop you from using my name to gain access to Alan's.
Then you knew all through dinner I was doing this story. Now who's being dishonest?
I was just hoping you'd tell me yourself, so it wouldn't be like last time.
How can you even compare the two? This time I'm trying to exonerate your sister.
Then why haven't you interviewed some of her friends? Talk to Rachel Dennis. She'll vouch for her innocence.
You could notarize Rachel Dennis's tongue, and I still wouldn't believe a word she said.
I should have known. No night would be complete without some Rachel bashing.
You brought her up. Besides, I don't need character references for Carrie. I'm trying to find out what really happened.
Alex, believe me, I want Carrie's name cleared, but not on the front page of the Globe. This is private family business. If you respect me, then you'll understand that.
And you'll understand that your private family business is also a matter of public interest.
Meaning it sells papers.
Peter, I can't pick and choose what I write about, or who, or when, or whether you'll approve.
Fine. Do what you're going to do. I'm tired of arguing. I've got an early court date tomorrow. Why don't I just walk you home?
It's all right, Peter. Get some sleep.
What's strange?
I'm trying to figure out our net worth, so I've been going through this checking account, and I've almost got it balanced except for a $10,000 debit, which was withdrawn as a cashier's check.
Mark, that's my private account.
That's right, and according to your records, it hasn't been balanced since we left Seattle.
Well, I wonder why. I haven't been very busy. Mark, you know I asked you not to go through my stuff.
I know. I'm sorry, but I found a big discrepancy, Steph. So look at the bright side. I saved you 10 grand. See? Look for yourself.
I don't need to. It's not a mistake. That money was a loan to my brother. I didn't tell you because I knew how you'd feel.
You gave Zach $10,000? Why?
His band's doing a demo. They needed studio time. He said a label's interested.
Yeah, and grunge is still the in sound. Well, we both know you'll never see that money again.
Mark, my brother's a good musician.
And you're an even better big sister. But since we've been talking about investments here, I think you'll agree this isn't a good one. Then again, it's your money. You earned it. You do what you want.
Hey, my money's your money. You know that. I'm willing to try out Gilchase if that's what you want.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm not about to turn over my life savings. Let's start small and see how it goes.
I shouldn't have gone into your account. I'm sorry.
For a transaction like this, anytime.
Peter, it's Rachel. Could you please give me a call? Peter, it's Rachel. Would you call me when you return, please? Whatever the time, I won't sleep anyway.
Who is it?
Peter? Look, I'm sorry to bother you at this hour. Are you alone?
Of course. Come in. What happened? Is everything okay?
I'm sorry, it's just that I got some bad news from London.
Your ex-husband?
It's not fair. He's such a beast. I mean, he bought that verdict and dragged me through the mud.
Rachel, I'm sorry.
It's not even losing the money I mind. I mean, I have a good job and I've always supported myself. What hurts is I feel like a bloody fool. I mean, to think that I actually loved that man and trusted him. I don't think I'm ever going to trust anyone again.
You will when you find the right guy. He'll be lucky to have you. And he'll know it, believe me. If he doesn't, I'll be right there to remind him. Rachel, you're feeling fragile right now.
Yeah, and you're seeing someone else. Someone who doesn't like me very much.
Well, it's not true. Alex barely knows you.
Peter, what if she gets hold of his lies and they start to appear in print?
I know, Alex. She would never do anything like that. Listen, I'll call you a cab. You call me in the morning. And don't worry. Everything will be fine.
If you say so, Peter, perhaps it will.
Morning, Shannon, Kathy.
Yo.
Yo, yourself. Zach, it's Mark.
Who?
Mark, your brother-in-law.
Mark. I'm sleeping.
I'm sorry to call so early, but I wanted to congratulate you. Big deal, huh? Your band finally doing a demo?
What demo? We split up a month ago.
You did? Really? Does Stephanie know?
How would she? We've hardly talked since you guys moved. Yeah, I know she's busy being a big shot, but tell her to give me a ring sometime.
Zach, let me get something straight. Did Stephanie ever loan you $10,000?
No, but she's welcome to anytime she wants.
I'll tell her. Now go back to sleep.
Jackpot. Naturally, I wouldn't use your name. If I did, you'd never speak to me again. My lips are sealed. I'll talk to you soon. I thought I told you you're on your own.
I heard you the first time, but I just got some incredibly juicy stuff I can't use, which I know you want to run in your column. The ruling on Rachel Dennis's divorce suit. I'm surprised she bothers being so stylish, considering she can't seem to stay in her clothes.
Lower class end to an upper class marriage. I've only done this about 2,000 times. And this sex addict stuff, it'll never clear legal. Even her current employer could sue.
Fine. If you don't want it, I'm sure I can find someone who will.
I'm not. Who cares about Rachel Dennis?
Wait a second. I can't believe I'm hearing you say this. This is great gossip. Better than anything you've dug up in ages.
Let me be the judge of that. I'm the one who gets paid to dish dirt around here.
Lisa, I will say one thing for you. You certainly do protect your sources.
What are you talking about?
Rachel Dennis is off limits because she's your connection at Communique, which means she's also the leak. Thanks a lot. You've been a big help.
So, what's the big emergency?
You asked me to keep you posted on my progress. Now I got some news for you. Rachel Dennis's divorce records, sealed by a British court. But what are sealed records to a Globe reporter, especially when they contain more casual sex than the collected works of Jackie Collins? I sold my editor by telling him there was no story, which should buy me time to dig up more dirt. By the time I'm through with Rachel Dennis, everyone in New York will know what I know.
Alex, it's one thing to hold a grudge, but this is going way too far. Don't pretend this isn't personal. What do you have against Rachel Dennis?
Nothing, except she's a two-faced, lying, scheming backstabber who framed your sister and got her fired.
Now you're saying she's the leak? Rachel and Carrie have been friends for years. There's no way she would ever do anything like that.
What's the point of trying to convince you? Obviously, you don't want to believe it.
What I don't believe is malicious gossip, and I'm sorry to hear it coming from you.
Not as sorry as she's gonna be.
Alex, don't do this.
$10,000? Our minimum private portfolio is 100 grand, but make an exception in your case.
Thanks. I figure we'll show Stephanie how well we do, and she can contribute as well. She has total confidence in you, Gil. It's just, I'm the one who wanted this, so I thought it'd be best to use my money first.
It doesn't matter where it comes from. The point is to make it multiply.
Good. Here it is, 10 grand. The entire advance on my play.
Best investment you ever made. Let's go examine some portfolio options, and then I've got a few documents for you to sign.
Actually, I'm due back at East Side Prep. Why don't we set up another appointment, same time tomorrow, if you're free?
I'll make myself free. This time tomorrow.
Good. Oh, by the way, I know this isn't exactly your field, but is it possible to trace a cashier's check?
It's difficult, but not impossible. From your account?
From my wife's at First Manhattan.
Our firm's got some clients with some connections over there. I'll try to use them and call you back. Or should I just call Stephanie herself?
No. Let me know whenever you get a chance. There it is. That's the number.
You got it. Thanks for coming in.
Good. I look forward to making a fortune with you.
Thanks for showing up on such short notice.
How could I resist? You sounded so mysterious on the phone, making me swear not to tell Rachel Dennis.
Tell her anything you want. I just thought you'd want to take a look at this first. Your roommate's a real piece of work. This should give you a general idea.
Well, it's definitely a juicy read, but, I'm busy packing for Paris, so if this is the reason you summoned me here, to tell me that Rachel's a slut and she's broke, well...
She's also the leak at Communique. And the one who set you up. Your brother won't believe it, but I think you will.
Really? Well, give me one reason why I should.
Rachel's the Globe's source at Communique, so I know she framed you for what she fed us.
Well, if that's the truth, then why bring all this to me? You could have run a major story and taken credit for the scoop.
I planned to, till I talked to Peter. He thinks I'm just jealous of Rachel, and doing a story would confirm it for him. Besides, this way you're cleared of all charges.
And you? What do you get out of all this?
I think we have a mutual nemesis here, but my hands are tied because of Peter. And the truth is, I care more about him than this story. Where are you going?
Well, you said you can't do anything to Rachel, but I can. And I will.
Darling, don't. Here, let me help.
Oh, no, honey, that's fine. Besides, you'll be late for work. You know, the limo's downstairs. Why don't I drop you at the office?
No. Communique can wait. I'm going to go with you. After all, you are moving to Paris. The least I can do is accompany you on that tiresome trip to JFK.
You really are a friend, Rachel. And to think that I believed Alex Bartoli, that you were the leak at Communique, and you framed me for it.
God, that girl should be writing fiction.
Yeah. Like that columnist Lisa Monroe. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's my mistake. No, she only repeats what she's told by pathological liars like you.
Carrie, I don't understand what you're talking about.
Oh, no, see, Lisa Monroe, the girl you've been feeding Communique gossip to and then pinning the blame on me?
Why would I ever do something like that?
Give it up, Rachel. I've got proof.
Well, sorry, darling, but you've got to admit, when it comes to creating a viable suspect, I mean, you're an obvious sitting duck. I mean, your stepfather loathes you, and Stephanie's no fan. I certainly couldn't use my key card.
So you use mine.
You catch on fast. Now, hurry, darling, or you'll miss that flight.
Oh, no, see, because I'm not going, Rachel. This morning's charade is for your benefit.
Well, then you're wasting your time. You can't bully me. And while we're on the subject, why bother sticking around here? We both know that you're through at Communique.
No, you are, if I open my mouth. So unless you want your sordid past splashed all over every tabloid in New York City, you're going to do what I say.
Enough empty threats. What do you want?
I want you out of my loft, for starters. So, you can take that suite at the Pierre that you've been bragging so much about. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I forgot. You can't afford it, can you? Well, there's plenty of motels by the West Side Highway. Hopefully earplugs will help with the noise.
I'll be out of here by tonight. Any further orders, my queen?
Oh, you bet there are. I want my name cleared and my job back. Today.
Carrie, that is impossible. There's no way I can do that short of turning myself in.
I'm sure you'll think of something. Ciao, Rachel. Have fun at work.
Here they are as discussed. Proposed portfolio and some papers to sign for wire transfer authorizations and stuff.
Gil, you're a man of your word. When you say you'll do something, it gets done.
I try to be modest, but you're right. It's true. Speaking of getting things done, does the name Ian Walker mean anything to you?
Absolutely. He's producing my play.
I figured there was a connection since he's the one who endorsed that check.
The one in Stephanie's account?
I called my source at the bank this morning. Cashier's check for 10 grand, right? Mark, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I gotta go.
I think we can come up with something better than autumn weekend getaways. Anybody have anything?
How about autumn affair weekend getaways? That's exciting.
Actually, you've given me an idea. Goodbye adultery, hello romance. How a generation of divorced kids are growing up and staying faithful, committed to one relationship.
Speak for yourself.
Stephanie? We have to talk.
Well, I'm in the middle of the
No.
meeting, but... Excuse me. Mark, what is it? What's going on?
You tell me, because I am dying to know. Why you paid Ian Walker to option my play?
What?
Don't screw with me, Stephanie. I found that cashier's check and put a trace on it.
Mark, I can't talk about this here. I'll tell you everything
No.
tonight.
No! Tell me everything right now, starting with the truth. Did you do this or not? What? Talk to me!
I did. But Mark, I had a good reason.
A good reason for lying to me and meddling with my career. A good reason for bribing Ian Walker and taking away the most important thing in my life.
I thought our marriage was the most important thing in your life. And I swear to you, Mark, I was trying to save it.
No, Stephanie, no! You see, you were trying to control it. Just like you control everything else. Your work, our marriage, even me. But this time, I'm in control. And I'm not sure I'll ever trust you again.
Mark, please,
Stephanie, you made a big mistake.
Well, look who came by to say bon voyage. Well, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere.
Damn right you're not.
Next on Central Park West.
And get me my job back today. Otherwise, you lose yours tomorrow.
I just had this feeling that I was going to lose you to Carrie.
I need some time. Alex, I love you.
You're going to want to touch me more than anything you've ever wanted in your life. But you're not going to be able to.
What I want is a raise and a promotion.
I'm in love with you.